Watch how we temperament test 7-week-old French Bulldog puppies. Temperament testing tells us about the puppy's personality and natural characteristics. So the first trait we're going to test is the puppy's assertiveness. This is assertiveness to humans. So the tester is patiently waiting for the puppy to approach and interact with the tester. Here you'll notice that Asher approaches the tester with politeness. He gently crawls into her lap and starts licking. He will only challenge the tester's space as he becomes comfortable. He doesn't innately just come and immediately invade the space like he's the boss or owns the room. So we would rate Asher's assertiveness level as medium. A low assertive puppy would require coaxing and convincing from the tester, and Asher approached completely on his own, wanting to engage with the tester. We are also observing the puppy's overall confidence. This is described as the belief in its abilities and approach to a new situation. So this test is being done in a new room, considered an unfamiliar environment to the puppy. Generally, I would rate his confidence as a medium. He has had some hesitation in the beginning, and generally you'll see that he has a couple of startles, but he quickly returns and goes back to a relaxed posture. But he has a slight hesitation and a little bit some slight meekness, but no yawning, which would be stress signals that would put him at a low confidence, no shaking, no avoidance, none of those types of behaviors, or like doing any type of crawl, that like army crawl, that shows me that he's scared. Next, we're testing right now, the tester's playing with the puppy. We're testing the motivation level of the puppy. This is the puppy's intrinsic desire to work for and with humans. We call this also the workability of the puppy, or it could also be related to like its trainability. How eager will the puppy be to train or work with humans? And again, I think that this puppy is actually a high in motivation level. He wants nothing more than to work and please the human. At one point, he even, when I stopped playing with him, he stopped and was staring at me. You'll see it a little bit later on in the video. But anytime I initiate play, he immediately responds. He doesn't go off to do his own thing. So that would be considered a high motivation level. And whenever I stop an interaction, he tries to interact. He'll go and look for me. So at one point in this test, you'll see that he like barks at me, trying to get my attention. The next thing we're gonna test is the puppy's touch tolerance. For this portion of the test, I'm gonna hold the puppy and do the 10-step handling exercise that we've done since they're 2 weeks old, and see how the puppy responds to touch in general. So there, first I'm just giving him pets to see if he'll try to back away from the pets, or when I pet, does he seek more touch? And Asher seeks more touch. He's like, okay, once I pet him, he stays there for the pets. And then generally he'll actually even lean in for more, and you'll see that he'll get closer. He leans in for more affection. And then with the 10-step handling, he has 0 resistance to the 10-step handling as well. When we put our hands on his eyes, we rub his ears, we touch his paws, we rub his belly, tail, along his back, and he has no qualms about being touched, which is great to know, for a puppy that is going to be around children or around other people. We want a dog with a high touch tolerance. Some dogs don't actually enjoy being touched, they just tolerate it. And that is where Asher barked at me for more affection. That was actually a really cute reaction that caught me by surprise. He's definitely a charmer and loves human connection and attention. So I would rate him as highly human focused. A puppy that has high human connection is a puppy who eagerly looks for human connection and attention. So that's a highly human focused dog. If he were low human focused, you would see that he had little to no interest in me. And notice that whenever I stop interacting with him, he immediately looks for that interaction. This is where I continue to do the puppy massage. He has zero qualms about being groomed and handled. He seems to like physical touch, which is great to know. Looks like Asher would be a good cuddler. The next portion of the test is going to be the puppy's sound sensitivity. So we're going to make a spontaneous, loud noise that the puppy doesn't know where it's coming from and see his reaction. This lets us know if the puppy is going to be sensitive to sounds, so like if they'll be suited for a noisy household or not. You'll see that Asher hears the sound, startles, but quickly recovers. He, for one moment, thinks about going to hide, but then he goes and immediately investigates to see what's going on. That is a medium sound sensitive puppy. If he was highly sensitive, he would either cry and start shaking, try to hide, but he immediately recovered. It did startle him. And then a dog that has no sound sensitivity would not even react. The next thing we did is sight sensitivity. The sight sensitivity is the same concept, but with movement. So we test this with an umbrella. An umbrella is an object that he's never seen before, so he has no idea that it could open up like that. And he didn't react at all, so I don't think he's that sight sensitive. It didn't seem to scare him. Asher used to be a really shy puppy, and we've really worked on his confidence. He's still pretty mild-mannered and calm. You see that he will sit throughout the test. He's not constantly moving. So based off his energy level, I would consider Asher a medium energy puppy. He's not a high energy puppy at all. A high energy puppy would be moving nonstop around the testing area. Now we're testing his prey drive, or his desire to pounce and chase the toy. So here I'm trying to get him to tug at the toy. Basically, the way that we test the dog's prey drive is if he's going to fight me for the toy, start tugging on it. Some dogs will even growl and pull very hard on it. He engages in play just because he has a high motivation level. So he sees that I'm wanting to play with him and he's going to respond. But he's not tugging at the toy. You'll notice he grabs it, immediately lets go. I try to get him to chase it. That's another prey drive type of game, to see if he'll pounce, chase, or stalk the toy. And he does not really respond. So I would say that Asher has a low prey drive, which is excellent. That means that he won't really pursue small animals and try to pounce or stalk on them. The next test we're going to do is the tender-heartedness trait. This tells us how concerned the puppy is with human emotion and if they're able to handle strong emotions. You'll notice that when I yell and scream, interpreting a tantrum, Asher is concerned. He's immediately concerned, but he's not overly concerned to the point where he's fearful or it's affecting him emotionally. He does feel responsible for the human emotion because he immediately tries to console by giving kisses and distracting and getting in my face as soon as I start to cry. This is a puppy that is considered highly tender-hearted, and he does feel responsible for the well-being of their human, which makes him a great companion. You don't want a puppy that's extremely tender-hearted because that means they're overwhelmed. He would shake and cry and maybe even hide when he sees strong human emotion. And then a puppy that has zero concern for human emotions would mean that he's disinterested in or unaware, but he's more connected with human emotion. Next, I put some obstacles and foreign objects that he's never seen before inside the box to kind of see his reaction and his confidence level. I invite him to walk over the object, and he does so with complete confidence and no fear. And the same thing with this bucket. He's never really seen something like this. And he really has zero fear. I put it in front of him and ask him to come around, and he even considers going over the object with no hesitation. So his confidence has really gone up tremendously.